Say, I want to tell you, I had a good thought about my book.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. And here's what I thought I'd do.
All right.
Is, I talked to some publishers and all, and I don't think that's going to work out. They want huge quantities, and they want big upfront fees. I mean, big. So I wasn't going to do that. So what I thought I'd do is maybe if people are watching on Facebook, if about 50 of them, say about 50, would send in $20 a piece, then I'd decide whether there was enough volume there to warrant the expense of printing, because I got the expense of printing and mailing and all that sort of thing. So
why don't you just let them do that online, like I said?
This is what I thought, and then if they'd be a little patient, because I don't have the book quite finished yet, and then I got to get it printed, and all that takes a few weeks and all. And then I'll send them the book. If they don't think it's worth $20, why they can just give me a call and keep the book, give it to a friend, and I'll send them back their $20. How's that for a deal?
Yeah, we'll have to figure out how to do that, because you don't do anything on Facebook here. So.
Well, I thought they'd just put it in the mail. I got my address, 718 95th Avenue North, Naples, Florida, 34108.
Well, that's a good thought, but
718 95th Avenue North, Naples, Florida, 34108. If they want put $20 in the mail to me, Roy T. Haase, Haase, I'll send them my book, and I think it'd be well worth $20. But if they don't think so, have them give me a jingle at 239-514-4066. I'll send them the money right back.
Well, we'll see how many people show some interest there.
Yeah, if I get about 50 replies, that'll be enough then to warrant the expense of printing. See, I don't have it printed yet, and that'll cost some bucks. And I want to see if there's a market before I go and spend the money. So I think if they'll just want to send me $20, and I'll send them the book when I get it printed, and if they don't think it's worth it, I'll send them money back.
So when do you think it's going to be printed?
Well, when I get 50 replies and I know it's going to be...
So it's all ready to be printed?
Well, just about. I'm coming down the stretch. I got probably another couple of weeks of writing on it and thoughts, and then the printing take a couple of weeks, so we've got about a month away. So if they'd be patient.
we need to share a little bit of it with people, with their appetite.
Well,
bring a little piece of it to the beach, and we can read just a little bit out of there, so people get
thought too.
So people know what's in there.
I can tell them I got about, say, 15 different chapters.
Nice.
Of all different type of things, health, diet. Well, there's been a lot of talk about diet, but I got some interesting, unique ideas, and spirituality and anger, how to get rid of anger and resentment, and I've got a few techniques for that, which I have to keep working on myself. And forgiveness, love, spirituality, just the whole gambit. And I think there are going to be thoughts that are going to be worth $20.
I mean, it's a lot of the stuff we've talked about over the years.
Yeah, it's everything we talked about over the years.
And more.
Yeah, and I've got it all kind of written down with some thoughts attributed to it, and I think, and if they don't think it's worth $20, good, I'll send them back the dough. I've never chiseled anybody out of a nickel in my whole life, so they can count on getting their money back. And I thought, I wrote a booklet out in California about 40 years ago, and it's kind of an interesting little thing about happiness and all that sort of thing. Oh, that's another thing of my book is going to have heaven and hell. And I know there is a heaven and hell because it's right here, right now, and I've been in both of them. And believe me, I prefer heaven. And we're given the free choice, and I've got various techniques so we can stay out of hell, or if we drop into it, how we can get back out in a hurry and get up to heaven. So,
well, that's very good.
Yeah, and I thought that way.
It sounds like there's probably going to be a sequel. Sounds like there's probably going to be another book after this.
Well, this one is entitled "How I've Lived to Be Almost 100 and Enjoyed the Journey."
There you go.
So, if we want to start right today, if people want to send me $20, if I get 50 replies, then I'll go to the printer. If I don't get enough replies, I'll send them back their dough.
Well, there you
count
go.
on that. And after they get the book, if they don't think it's worth $20, they can give me a jingle, and I'll still send them back the dough, and they can give the book to a friend or something.
Well,
and I got a whole chapter. Well, we've discussed it here about drinking poison too.
Yep.
So I went into that at some great detail.
I'm sure you did.
So maybe I can get some people on the wagon, and that'd be a worthwhile achievement too.
Well, you never know.
So all told, this very moment is a promotion that I'm going to do, and I appreciate it, Rob. You're giving me this opportunity to talk to 20,000 people. And out of the 20,000, if 50 want to send me $20,
get it started. Get the printing
at 718 95th Avenue North, Naples, Florida 34108. Roy T. Haase, and my phone is area code 239-514-4066. And give me a jingle anytime, and before you get the book, after you get the book, whatever, and tell me what you think of it, and maybe other people got some good thoughts I could incorporate into a sequel.
So it's like the first 50 are going to be your seed money to get the printing started.
Yeah. And it'll let me know that it's worth getting it printed. Otherwise, I go to the printer, I spend $500 or some darn thing, and I have big boxes of books at home and
kindling.
Yeah, what do I do then? You see what I mean? But if I know 50 people are interested,
well, I think 50 people are going to order the book. I don't see a problem with that.
Well, I hope so. And
maybe we'll try to set up. Get you set up with a Facebook page for the book. Well, that way we can keep track of who wants one.
I'd appreciate that, Rob.
And all that.
And in the next book I write, I'll dedicate it to you for all of your all of your assistance. In fact, maybe I'll dedicate this one to you. That's right. It isn't finished yet.
That's all right.
To Rob and all my friends.
It'll be good. We got to put some pictures in there.
Well, I'd be happy to do that.
We need to put some pictures of you out here on the beach. I got some good pictures of you somewhere.
Well, let's throw
one or two. We got to have a picture of you on the cover, that's for sure.
Well, I hope so. We don't want to get people turned off.
I think I've got some great photos of you at sunrise.
Yeah, that'd be wonderful.
That'd be a nice cover for the book.
Well, life is so glorious, and we can share it with other people this way. And
share your life with others. And hopefully they'll learn something from it, and it'll make their lives better. All right, let's take your walk, and I'll check in with you on the way back.
I really appreciate all your help on this.
Take your walk, and I'll meet up with you here in a little while.
Yeah, probably got a lot of good ideas how to merchandise this book.
Absolutely.
Too. Yeah, I really appreciate that help.
We're merchandising the book
right now. I'll dedicate the book to you.
Right now, we're merchandising.
Yeah, we are. I'm sure it's going to work. It's a beautiful Sunday, and by George, the sun's coming out.
Think about when you're walking. Think about one of the little stories that's in the book, and let's talk about it when we get back together here.
Okay.
All right? We'll give everybody a taste of what's in the book.
Okay.
Whet their appetite.
Yeah, that would be great.
I almost walked by you. I almost passed you by.
This nice spot here.
Yeah, it's a great spot. Gosh. So, we were talking about your book, how you're trying to get some orders, get some seed money to get it printed. So you said 50 orders is what you're looking to get here, $20 a copy, and then we'll have some money to get it printed.
Yeah, and if they could send that to 718 95th Avenue North, Naples, Florida 34108.
Well, there you go. Well,
718 95th Avenue North, Naples, Florida 34108, and I'll send them the book, and well, if they send me $20, and then I'll send them the book. If they don't care for the book, well, like I say, they can give me a jingle at 239-514-4066. I'll send them their $20 right back, and they can give the book to some friends or neighbors.
Just keep the book and give it to somebody else.
Sure, what the heck.
Yeah, they're going to love the book.
So there's a guarantee.
There's a guarantee.
A money-back guarantee, like they always talking about at the stores.
Yep, and it's right out of the horse's mouth, so to say, right here. You cannot renege on that. We've got it right here on the video.
So after they send the money, it'll be a little delay. I've got probably another week or two to finish the book, and then I got probably a week or two to get it printed. So we're talking about a month's time, so they'd have to be a little patient.
Right. But that'll be good. At least you'll get some hard copies of it, and then we'll have something to show people and share. And
yeah, that'll be a delight. And I think I really think it'll be worthwhile.
Those first 50, they are going to be signed by the author.
Oh, sure.
Right?
Yeah, that's for sure.
Definitely. Those will be signed editions.
I did write a book about 40 years ago about happiness, and And I think it's kind of a cute little thing. Got a lot of illustrations. I had quite a good artist working on it, so a lot of good illustrations, and I'll include that in the first. I think I probably maybe have about 20 left or so. I'd have to check in the drawer, and so I'll include the first 20. I'll include
the first 20
free copy
get
of
a
that
copy
too.
of Happiness.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was written about 40 years ago when I was out in California.
All right, well, that'll be great. So the first 50 are going to be signed.
Probably 50 more years ago, who knows?
And the first 20 orders, they're going to get a copy of Happiness.
Well, yeah, they got about...
So they're going to get 2 doses of Happiness here.
Can't beat that.
Gotta love it. Well, see if you can share one of the stories or tips from your book here.
Well, one of the big things. Now, there's an old cliche that we're composed of body, mind, and spirit.
Right.
Which I think is great, and I agree with that. However, one of the most important facets of our being has been overlooked in that cliche, and that is emotions. We're body, mind, and spirit, and emotions. Emotions are one of the biggest things that control and direct and guide our life.
Yep.
And emotions include a vast periphery of things. Of course, there's joy and happiness and ecstasy and exhilaration. Those are all great positive emotions, and that's, of course, what we want to keep working on is positive emotions. It ties in with positive thinking.
Right.
It ties in with prayer, all forms of emotions. And then, of course, there's negative emotions, and those are the really bad ones. Anger, resentment, and so what my book has got some little tips how to control this anger thing, because that's a big, dangerous thing. When you get angry, you're completely out of control.
Right.
And we have to stay in. When you're out of control, you could do some very damaging things. You could damage yourself. You, of course, damage property. You could damage other people, hurt other people, all because you're in this fury and you're out of control.
Yep.
So I've got some little tips about how to control this, hopefully.
Well,
this anger thing, which we're all subject to.
Oh, absolutely.
Me too. I mean, the slightest little thing can cause a resentment that can build into a huge, big anger. Look at wars. My gosh. It's just no end to this anger and resentment. So anyway, emotions are tremendous. They tie into, like I say, prayer, and your relationship with the great Creator is a big emotional thing.
Yep.
So I think emotions have been kind of glossed over and overlooked when people are thinking about their,
of course,
their self and their environment and how they should behave. And so the control of emotions. Another emotion is humility. Just about everything that we do and feel are controlled by emotions. It's about the biggest thing there is. So,
good point.
So I've got a kind of an expose on emotions and all that.
So is that a whole chapter?
Well, yes, a chapter. There's a whole chapter on emotions, and it ties in with other chapters. Like I say, there's a chapter about prayer, and there's a chapter about anger. And so there's different chapters, but the emotion thing kind of ties into all these chapters. That's why I wanted to kind of bring up emotions.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So there's a lot of little thoughts in the book that I've been thinking about over the many years, and the joys and problems that I've had during my life, and how they could be possibly avoid the problems and spend more time with the joys. So that's the story of life. And like I say, you've kind of stimulated me to think about these things. Every day you say, what's the word of the day? And I have to kind of ruminate a bit and come up with something hopefully worthwhile. And so now I want to gather them together in this book, and that's why I want to dedicate it to you, because you're the one who stimulated me to gather up my thoughts and experiences and make them available to other people.
Well, I'm gonna share your address and phone number here on Facebook. I'm gonna put your picture there with your contact information, and we'll see what happens.
Wonderful.
There's people already here saying they want a copy. They want your address.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Already getting people interested.
My gosh. Well, yep. Do they have my address? Like I say,
I'm gonna post that, and they can get it. I'm not gonna message everybody here individually. I'm going to put a post up.
Well, I was just going to tell them what the address is.
Well, you can tell them one more time. Give them a chance to get their pen and paper here. Give them a minute. Get your pencil and paper ready. And we're going to give you Roy's address and phone number.
Yeah, they can go just put a check or a $20 bill in an envelope. It's no big deal.
Checks are safer.
Like I say, I mean, they should put the return address on the envelope.
Absolutely.
And I'll either send them the book or the money back if I, and then they can give me a jingle if they're impatient after a couple of months and they don't have the book yet. Why, they can give me a jingle and say, hey, send me back my 20 bucks.
And the first 20 people that order, this is an advanced order. The book it's not even finished yet. Roy's got another couple of weeks.
Not finished. Now I got to get it printed.
And he's got to get it printed.
So
he's looking for 50 orders for seed money to get the book printed. At least the first copies, the first edition.
Well, then I'll know at least that there's a market for it and it's worth it to get printed.
The first 50 copies are definitely going to be autographed by Roy with a little personal message from Roy. The first 20 orders are going to get a copy of his other book, Happiness, that he wrote, which I didn't know. That's the first time I ever heard about that.
Well, it's kind of cute. I think it's worthwhile.
So there you go. So the first 20 are going to get a double whammy. So let's go ahead and give them how to spell your name.
Well, it's Roy, R-O-Y.
We got that.
And it's Haase, H-A-A-S-E. I always have to say 2 A's and 1 S. But if they put H-A-S-S-E, it'll still get to me. But it's in reality H-A-A-S-E. It's a German word for rabbit.
Oh, is it?
That's why I'm always jumping along on the beach. Haase is a rabbit.
That's why you're bouncing around out here. All right. Now, what's your address?
It's 718 95th Avenue North. 95th Avenue North in Naples, Florida, 34108.
There you go.
718 95th Avenue North, Naples, Florida, 34108.
Well, I hope they have a big truck. The mailman has a big truck.
Well, I look forward to that because I think this is a real honor and privilege for me to be able to espouse some of these thoughts. And it comes...
There you go. Emily's like, just said she wants to be one of the first 20.
And the thoughts are inspired by a great creator. They're not my thoughts. They come from God, really. All your thoughts come from God. So you got to have good, positive thoughts because there's also a lurking devil, and the negative thoughts come from the devil. So... and we're given this free choice, which is a tremendous responsibility.
You say it comes from God, but it's how you interpret what comes from God. Well, everybody interprets things differently.
Everything has to be interpreted differently.
This is your opinion. This is your opinion.
I told you about the Catholic priest, didn't I? And I thought I was very impressed with him. I used to go to the Catholic Church with Audrey, and the priests are really good guys. I got to know them quite well. They're just wonderful gentlemen. And the one I got especially friendly with and knew him, and so I thought I'd really kind of catch him up a little bit. And I said, Father, I said, there's only one God, isn't there? Oh, yes, yes. Well, I said, if there's only one God, how come there's so many different religions? I really thought I had
right,
but I didn't have them. He said they're all the same. It's just a matter of interpretation.
Of course.
Now, that's a good thought, isn't it? That's a good thought. So
is there one right religion? Probably not.
All the same. All the same. Just a matter of... To have a Catholic priest say they're all the same, I thought was very impressive.
No, but a lot of people wonder that. Why are there so many different religions?
Just a matter of interpretation. So they're all interpreting God's word.
And
we're doing the same thing, really. We're interpreting it.
Oh, of course.
So we're involved with this whole religion thing, and even the creations of religions.
Yep.
So it all ties in. So we're given a tremendous responsibility and quite an honor and privilege, but it's also responsibility to do a good and proper job of this interpretation and to work at it. It isn't just something you think about for an hour on Sunday morning. It's something that you work at every moment of the day, night and day.
You don't think about it, you live by it.
Yeah, every moment of the night and day. You got some good thoughts, too. You should write a book, too. You could dedicate it to me.
You're my mouthpiece.
No, you really do have good thoughts, because when we're chatting on the beach, you always kind of interject some thoughts.
I've dedicated my Facebook page to you pretty much. You've become the star here of
Well,
Southwest Florida television.
Stimulated me to think about these things. Otherwise, they're kind of lost in the shuffle. You know, you're so busy with your daily work and your chores and.
Well, I hope I added another 100 years onto your life by doing that.
Well, I look forward to that.
I know you added quite a few years to my life. Your conversation.
Really?
Heck yeah,
well,
you've inspired me. If you can do it, I can do it.
Well,
somebody's got to take over the position of mayor out here.
It's good to be inspired. I think you got to be stimulated so you get full of energy and zest, and you feel you're doing something really vital and worthwhile instead of just kind of slumping along. You know what I mean? So you got to really go for it.
But this is such a great place to come out and do some thinking, isn't it?
Yeah, you got to have peaceful times too. You aren't always rushing and striving, and being at peace is all a big part of it too.
Yeah. And I mean, you can be by yourself here, but there's lots of nice people if you want to have some conversation.
Oh, the dolphins are leaping, and the birds are flying, and paradise. Paradise.
Starting to look a little bit nicer out here now. The sun's starting to hit the water.
Yeah.
Getting some colors out there.
It's fun seeing those two dolphins.
Isn't that nice seeing the dolphins this morning?
Yeah. I
hadn't seen them in a while. I was worried that the red tide chased them away.
Yeah, it didn't seem to bother them any. Of course, they're air breathers. Maybe that's the difference.
I think that's a lot to do with it because that's what kills the fish. The red tide gets in their gills.
Yeah.
And the dolphins are mammals. But however, it did kill manatees. There were manatees washed up on the beach.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah.
And sea turtles too, and they're air breathers as well.
See, I also touch on everybody says take your vitamins. Well, I go along with that.
Health is a big topic.
Yeah, of course. It's a big other books and books on vitamins.
That's a book in itself for you.
But there's one little thing that I have never read in a book. Well, I read the research about it, but it hasn't been espoused in the book that I know of. And that's about vitamin C. You were just talking about mammals, and that reminded me. All of the mammals, which is the category that we fall into, all of the mammals except man produce in their body vitamin C. For some reason or other, we're the only mammal that doesn't. So I think vitamin C is vital to our health. There's no question about it. And so what I did is get some figures about the amount of vitamin C that the animals produce. Like an elephant certainly produces more vitamin C than a mouse. They're all mammals, I think.
I would think so.
So what I did is calculate according to my tonnage, my weight, the amount of vitamin C I should be producing if I was another type of mammal. Okay, it came out to be 18,000 units a day.
Wow.
Now you say to people, take your vitamin C. Oh yes, I take my vitamin C. Well, it's probably some in the multi. Multis are good, but maybe it's 300 or 400 units or
maybe
something.
Even if it's a couple thousand.
Maybe 1,000.
Yeah.
But to catch up with what nature is doing in the other mammals, I take 6,000 in the morning, 6,000 at noon, and 6,000 at night. And
Holy smokes.
And it's never bothered me a bit. I think it's healthy.
Well, it's not going to hurt you.
No, it's very inexpensive, and hopefully it'll prevent me from getting cancer and colds and all. I don't know what all.
Well, there you go.
So I got little tips like that in my book.
These are your opinions. You're not a medical doctor, but
well, it is an opinion. I've read the research about it, and there's research on vitamin C, how it helps prevent these diseases too. So they aren't my research. It's just I've been privy to this research, and I'm recounting it for the other people.
Go. Well, make sure you let everybody know where you found those facts. People are funny. They like to know sources and things when they read.
Well, it's been so many years ago.
Do you have an example of like how you came up with how you calculated
Lost in the shuffle. It's like Chinese drywall.
Chinese drywall.
Yeah, somebody.
Oh, that was it.
Yeah, somebody called and say, "What drywaller did you use? We found Chinese drywall in one of your buildings." And cripe's sakes, it was 30, 40 years ago. I didn't even know who the drywaller contractor was, and chances are he wouldn't have known whether it was Chinese drywall or not.
That's
ripping out walls, mold in there.
Oh yeah, they were condemning buildings.
Oh boy,
that was something. Well, that was great, Roy. I'm so happy to hear that. There's a lot of people here. I know you're going to be getting some checks in the mail.
Well, that would be nice. I'll keep them
get this off
separate, and make sure they all get their book.
There you go.
Books to begin with the first, what did I say, 20, or we'll get the extra book.
And feel free to give Roy a call if you want.
What's your phone number? 239-514-4066.
Say it again.
239-514-4066.
There you go.
I'd love to chat with anybody.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be great.
He's got an answering machine there, so leave a message if you don't get a hold of him.
Yeah, I like to talk to human beings on the phone. Everybody these days seems to be into the computer, and they're all corresponding with a computer, which is certainly extremely efficient. It's quite a gadget.
Well, that's what we're doing right now.
Yeah, it's quite a gadget, but I enjoy talking on the phone. It's certainly more of a personal contact with people.
It's the old-fashioned way of communicating.
Yeah, right. I guess I'm
next
old-fashioned.
Next to face-to-face. Yep.
Remember the old days, the telephone, you lift it up and the operator would say, number, please.
I don't remember those days.
You don't remember the number, please?
Nah,
we never called long distance because that cost money.
Oh, yeah, that was taboo.
Oh, you'd have to ask for the long distance
When you made a long distance call, the whole family gathered around the phone.
And you talk real fast and click.
Yeah, you had codes, like if you were traveling, you'd call and let the phone ring twice and hang up or something.
Yeah, that's right. Oh my.
Yep. Party lines. You remember? Did you have party lines up?
Party lines
where you shared the phone line?
Yeah, you'd pick the phone up. You'd hear a little click, and then you know somebody was listening in.
Yeah, you'd hear somebody talking sometimes if you picked your phone up.
Party lines. It would cost you less money.
Yep.
Sometimes more than one party too.
Oh yeah, that was something. It's amazing how technology has changed.
Yeah, that's another interesting thing is all the machinery that we live by.
Yeah.
Our whole life is just involved with all this machinery, our automobile, our telephone, electricity.
Oh yeah.
I mean, good Lord, I remember when the juice was off, everything pretty well shut down.
Oh yeah, that taught us really quick the importance of electricity.
So we're
running
lucky.
water.
Got all this equipment and machinery that makes our life so enjoyable and healthy.
It's telephones. I have so many friends. I don't have a regular phone in my house anymore.
Oh, really?
We just have our cell phones.
I'm not much in a cell phone.
I know, but there's a lot of people now that don't have hard lines in their house.
Yeah.
They just use their cell phones. I mean, we have 4 different cell phone numbers.
I'm amazed about those little telephones where it's got a picture. I mean, it's really a mini computer.
Well, that's what this is.
And I can't believe computers. When they first started out, the computer, and it was an entire huge big building, was one computer. Then they got a little smaller, and I've got Audrey's computer, my gosh, filled her whole office. It was a huge big black boxes here, black boxes there, tremendous. Now they're
fitting the palm of your
small.
hand.
Oh my. Well, development
Well, let's see, there's a whole nother book you could write. All the changes you've seen over the years.
Well, people have seen those.
I mean, from horse and buggy to you've seen people go to the moon, now into outer space.
The Iceman came by with his horse, and
the milkman.
My grandma, she'd put a card in the window, 25 or 50, and he'd chisel it off with his ice pick off the big block, and the ice tongs, and he'd put it over his shoulder. He had that big leather apron thing, and he'd walk up and he'd shove it in the ice box.
Coal? Did you get coal delivered? Did they?
Well, we didn't have a coal furnace. We had real oil. Ice box.
There's a lot. And we just take a refrigerator for granted. I mean, now you don't think anything of until the power goes out.
Yeah, that's right. You didn't need power for the ice box.
Nope, not in the old days.
Oh my.
No.
Well, life has been a glory, no question about it.
You got it.
What's interesting to muse about while we're musing is what's in 100 years from now, people look back and say, remember those dopes back in 2018 and they didn't know this or that?
Exactly.
And they did this, what a goofy thing to do,
Those two guys on
and
the
they
beach.
didn't have any woochadiddle, whatever they're using for equipment that we don't have now.
I mean, now technology just seems like it advances faster and faster and faster.
100 years, and that's another interesting thing, is if I can live for another 25 years, which would be nice or more, to see what new developments are going to come to pass. Because this whole atomic thing is developed during my lifetime.
Right.
I told you about it, Michigan, where they had the cyclotron and the physics building.
Yep.
The only one, that and MIT were the only two cyclotrons in the whole world. I don't think the Ruskies had one yet at that time. And they were cracking the atom.
Right.
That was back in 1942.
Yep.
And they were making that A-bomb back in those years.
That was a big top secret project.
I think the Ruskies, after the war, they grabbed a bunch of German scientists
the Manhattan
to build their own atom cracker. So that's been some very interesting development. So the big question: what's going to happen in the future?
What's next? That's the million-dollar question for sure. What's next?
Well, and maybe the old space buggy will land on the beach here, and a gentleman will get out with his top hat and tails and say, "How do you do? I'm from, in perfect English, Oxford English,
of course, or whatever language.
I'm from Mars."
Yeah.
You know
from Mars.
You know what happened? The officials would grab him and throw him in a quarantine.
Oh yeah. For not having his green card.
Well, yeah, and not no passport. But that could be an interesting development in the future, because there's no question about, with the universe this unbelievably immense, that there must be other. Of course,
there's got to be other life out there somewhere.
Worlds, and gosh, to be in wouldn't that be interesting?
What it looks like, who knows? But
yeah.
It's just like the sea. Just like we look out here, and there's still life forms that are undiscovered out in this water.
To communicate with them, you need a translator, of course.
Oh, I think if they could get here, I think they'll be able to.
With a good translator, you'd be able to communicate with them.
I think they'll be able to communicate. If they can get here from another galaxy.
So there's interesting things to muse about, and so it's nice to have longevity so you can see these things develop.
Well, great chat.
Yeah.
Great chat today.
Yeah, one of the bigger chats.
Yep, and that book, what's the title again? Let everybody know the title.
Well, it's How I've Lived Almost to 100.
How I lived.
Healthy and happy.
Healthy and happy?
Yeah.
How I lived to almost 100. And it was the journey.
Enjoying the journey.
And enjoying the journey. How I lived to almost 100.
Well, the almost I'm putting very small on the cover.
Almost.
Yeah.
Right.
And then, of course, in another 6-7 years, I'll have to scribble out that almost on that.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right.
How I lived.
I'll write a sequel.
To be 101. Ongoing.
101 pounds of fun. That's my little honey bun.
Oh, boy. All right.
Anyway, life is a lot of fun.
It is. Well, Roy.
One of the joys of life, Rob, is seeing you down at the beach and chatting with you. You're full of good cheer. And,
I hope so.
Yeah, good thoughts.
I have people that say I'm not. Call me the old grump.
Oh, I haven't seen you grumpy one moment.
I try to keep
that's another part
at home.
Big part of life is always to be joyful and happy and thankful and appreciative. That makes you feel better.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Of course, down here we're sucking in the serotonin. I wonder how that mixes in with the dead fish smell.
I don't know. We're laughing, so it must be working. It must be out there. We're happy, whether the dead fish are here or not. You need to put a chapter in about serotonin and beach walks.
Well,
you know what?
I'm not a scientist, so the serotonin is kind of.
But you have to. That's your opinion. I mean, my opinion is proven. My opinion. The 20 years that you've been coming out to this beach is added to your lifespan.
But you know, another little scientific, and I think I mentioned that in my book too, is that when you pray, your brain creates serotonin. Now, isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Scientists have proven that. Now that's an interesting thought too. So keep praying, because it makes happy gas develop and you feel a lot better.
Yes, the euphoria.
Yeah. Well, that's another. So my book has got 101 little thoughts like that.
Is that in there? Is that tip
commonly
in there? Is that in there about prayer and?
Yeah, I got a whole chapter on prayer.
And about, did you put in about the serotonin?
Well, I'll have to check it out and make sure.
Got to add that now.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, and I've got another part of the book about not always talking about getting old. You know, you have a tendency to say, "Oh, I'm too old for that,"
oh, boy.
or "Oh, well, I used to do that, but I can't do that now. I'm getting too old." You know, you can't do that. That's a form of negative thinking.
Right.
Even though the facts are you're getting old, you don't dote on that.
Everybody's getting old.
You just think how lucky you are to be here and how young and vital you feel and all those things.
There you go.
So that's that ties in with negative thinking.
Dwell on the positive.
Yeah.
Not the negative. Absolutely.
So it all ties into emotions, which we discussed here some length. We keep on talking, they won't have to buy the book. You know?
I know, we're going to give the whole thing away here for free. No, it's just the tip of the iceberg.
Well, it's something they could maybe give to their kids too, or, you know, to a friend. And
absolutely, definitely.
Something like that.
No, there's going to be some good tips in there. And we've talked about many of them over the years
here at the beach. You're the one who
beach.
Stimulated me because you're always kind of conning me into some thought for the day, and so I always had to dredge around and try to come up with something.
First we'll do the book. First the book's going to come out, then we'll do the movie after that.
Movie. That's when you're in Hollywood.
Well, no, we're going to do that right
Robb
here at the
Stan's
beach.
Production. I can just see the big placard there.
The Story of Roy.
Yeah, what kind of movies are you going to specialize in?
Documentaries.
Documentaries?
Absolutely.
I think that'd be interesting. Documentaries.
I like working on documentaries.
Yeah, okay.
I've worked on some documentaries over the years.
Yeah, seriously, I kid you about it, but seriously, I think you'd be good at it, and you might want to end up out there.
No, I'm happy right here.
Well, I'd hate to miss you, but
I don't need to be out there to do that.
It could be an opportunity. Maybe you can make your documentary right here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The Story of Roy. I'm telling you.
You don't need a Louis B. Mayer or whatever production.
I
Robb Stan's production.
There you go.
Yeah.
Roy, you lift everybody's spirits. I can tell you that for sure.
I know about that. You're the lifter. You get things started.
That was a great chat.
Yeah, we did have a good chat.
I can't wait to keep us updated on how many orders you get.
Won't that be thrilling?
Give me a jingle when the first check comes in the mail. I know it's going to be probably within a couple days it'll be showing up.
Today's Sunday. There's no mail delivery today.
I'll bet you by Wednesday you start seeing some action.
You think so?
I think so.
Well, I'd like to get the book printed up. I really would.
Everybody wants to see that happen.
Yeah, so that'll be a thrill.
So I'm going to post that later.
And it'll stimulate me to keep really working on the book real energetically so I get it completed.
There you go. Well, I'm going to post your contact information.
It takes a lot of time to kind of put everything down, you know.
Of course it does. It doesn't happen overnight. Don't rush it.
And then while you're doing it, you always come up with other thoughts.
That's what happens.
Things kind of keeps expanding.
But see, that's why I'm thinking there's another book down the road.
A sequel.
Yep.
Well, that's a thought.
You know, or else you'd probably be right. You could spend the rest of your life writing the book.
Well, and a lot of people could maybe call me and say, "Hey, Roy, what about this and that?"
I remember that story
that they have. Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of stories we share.
I mean, it could stimulate people to have their own thoughts about these things.
There you go.
Sure, that everybody has had unique experiences which have added to their education, and they'd like to share.
There you go.
So that could work too.
Well, that's where we could set the Facebook page up and people could share their thoughts on there.
Yeah.
Yep. They could just write their comments and we'll start a page for the book.
I'll let you worry about that. I'm not oriented towards the computer thing.
I'm going to need somebody to help me manage that one. That's going to be a lot of work there running that page.
Uh-huh.
So we'll have to find somebody to help me because people like to sneak in bad things every once in a while. There's always bad people.
Don't understand.
Just like the people that try to swindle money out of you over the telephone. You know, there's bad people everywhere. We just got to keep an eye on that.
Oh yeah, they promise you a $100,000 grant.
Yep.
And all you got to do is send them $300 to verify your identity, and you'll get the $500,000 grant.
If it sounds too good to be true.
It is too good to be true.
Yep, even though it's not. All right, I got to get moving here.
Okay, Rob, it's been glorious.
All right, are you going to head back down to your spot there? All right.
Yeah.
All right, always good seeing you, always good talking with you, and we'll talk more about the book.
Yeah, this is exciting.
It's going to be a top seller in no time.
Well, I hope so. That would be something.
Yep. All right, Roy. God bless.
Bless you, Rob.
Tally ho.
Tally ho. Have a great day.
You too.
Bless you.
Awesome. Well, there you have it. He is writing his book. His book is coming out here in probably a month. He's looking for those pre-orders here to get a little seed money. Roy doesn't have a lot of money. Get a little seed money to get the first 50 at least published, printed and published. So I'll post his address. He doesn't care. He said post his address and phone number and $20, and the first 50 copies definitely are going to get in. They'll be autographed with a little message from Roy. The first 20 orders, you're going to get a copy of his other book, Happiness. He said he thinks he has 20 copies of that book left. I hope he's right.